Good evening, everyone. I'm excited to welcome you to Singer-Songwriter Show number 65. Tonight it is Bob Dylan. Yeah, hundreds of songs to choose from, but I picked my three favorite, and I'm going to start with my number one favorite. So, first song I ever learned, other than maybe like, Blowing in the Wind. But I think, I learned that in elementary school. So, here we go. Buckets of Rain. It's the last song on his great 1975 album, Blood on the Tracks. So. Buckets of rain, buckets of tears, got all them buckets coming out of my ears. Buckets of moonbeams in my hand. You got all the love, honey, baby, I can stand. Like the smile in your fingertips, like the way that you move your hips. I like the cool way that you look at me. Everything about you's bringing me misery. Oh, little red wagon, little red bike. I ain't no monkey, but I know what I like. I like the way you love me strong and slow. I'm taking you with me, honey, baby, when I go. Well, I've been meek, hard like an oak. Seen pretty people disappear like smoke. Friends will arrive, friends will disappear. Well, anytime you want me, honey, baby, I'll be here. Life is sad, life is a bust. All you can do is do what you must. You do what you must do, and you do it well. I do it for you, honey, baby, can't you tell? Buckets of rain, buckets of tears, got all them buckets coming out of my ears. Buckets of moonbeams in my hand. You got all the love, honey, baby, I can stand. You got all the love, honey, baby, I can stand. All right, Robert Zimmerman, born May 24th, 1941, in Duluth, Minnesota. So in honor of Bob, I wore this shirt from, you can see the lift bridge in Duluth there and the harbor of Lake Superior, one of the twin ports. This is my shirt from running Grandma's Marathon. I've run it 3 times there, and I only remember one particular time where, as you're coming into town, I think it's about maybe 2-3 miles to the finish, and as you're going along, Duluth is kind of like San Francisco, where it's just the hills go straight up. So you're running kind of along in between the lake and the hills, and you see this street that says it's Bob Dylan Avenue or whatever that they named, and it's kind of cool that they decided his hometown had to have a street named after him. So as many of you know, he didn't spend a lot of time in Duluth. His family moved to Hibbing, Minnesota, up in the Iron Range, and that's where he basically spent most of his childhood and high school days and started playing music there, etc. So he's 79 years old, but coming up in this next spring, he'll be having a big birthday. He will be 80 years old. And we are very hopeful that by then, Memorial Day weekend, when the general store out in Spring Green hosts their annual Bob Fest in honor of his birthday, that we'll be able to be out there playing as we've done in the past, and hoping that's going to happen. So we'll see. All right, so Blood on the Tracks, my favorite album, and in fact, two of the three songs are from it. So I started with the last song on the album, Buckets of Rain, and now I'm going to do the very first song on the album, Tangled Up in Blue. Epic, amazing song. So, yeah. Hopefully, I'll get all the words to all 7 verses. So both of these are from the 1975 recording, and here we go. Wish me luck. So I've never done this all by myself, so I'm a one-man band tonight. Early one morning, the sun was shining. I was laying in bed, wondering if she'd changed at all, if her hair was still red. Some folks said our lives together sure was gonna be rough. Never did like Mama's homemade dress, Papa's bank book wasn't big enough. And all the while I was on the road, rain falling on my shoes, headed out to the East Coast. Lord knows I paid some dues getting through. Tangled up in blue. She was married when we first met, soon to be divorced. I helped her out of a jam. I guess I used a little too much force. We drove that car as far as we could, abandoned it out west. Split up on a sad dark night, both agreeing it was best. But she turned around to look at me as I was walking away. Said to me over my shoulder, we'll meet again someday on the avenue. Tangled up in blue. Well, I had a job in the great North Woods, working as a cook for a spell. I never did like it all that much, and one day the axe just fell. So I drifted down to New Orleans, where I was lucky for to be employed, working for a while in a fishing boat outside of Delacroix. But all the while I was alone, the past was close behind. I seen a lot of women, but she never escaped my mind, and I just grew tangled up in blue. She was working in a topless place. I stopped in for a beer. I just kept staring at the side of her face in the spotlight so clear. And later on, when the crowd thinned out, I was just about to do the same. She was standing there at the back of my chair saying, Jimmy, don't I know your name? I muttered something underneath my breath, studied the lines on her face. I must admit I felt a little uneasy when she bent down to tie the laces of my shoes. Tangled up in blue. She lit a burner on the stove, offered me a pipe. She said, I thought you'd say never. She said, I thought you'd never say hello. You look like the silent type. She opened up a book of poems, handed it to me, written by an Italian poet from the 13th century. And every one of those words rang true and glowed like burning coal, pouring off of every page like it's written, and my soul from me to you. Tangled up in blue. I lived with them on Montague Street, basement down the stairs. There was music in the cafes at night, revolution in the air. Then he started into dealing with slaves, and something inside of him died. She had to sell everything she owned and froze up inside. When the bottom finally fell out, well, I became withdrawn. The only thing that I knew how to do was to keep on keeping on like a bird that flew. up in blue. Now I'm going back again, got to get to her somehow. All those people we used to know, they're an illusion to me now. Some are mathematicians, some are carpenters, husbands, wives. Don't know how it all got started, I don't know what they do with their lives. But me, I'm always on the road, heading for another joint. We always did feel the same, we just saw it from a different point of view. Tangled up in blue, tangled up in blue. Now I can exhale. Love, love, love that song. Great memories of doing it at about 3 o'clock in the morning every June for the great party that Rebecca Kemble and Adam throw for their wedding anniversary up on the north side of Madison. And we stay up all night by the campfire and sing songs. And I think we've done that one every year because it's just a winner. So, all right. I happen to be a carpenter's husband, so I had to throw that little line in there. Also, I forgot to mention with Buckets of Rain, there's a line that says, I like the smile and your fingertips. And I always think of it as, I like your smile in your fingertips. Like it's your fingertips are smiling, but whatever, that's just me. All right, so what else to say about Bob Dylan? I mean, first of all, you could just go on all day about Bob Dylan. I mean, he has a Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. He has a Nobel Prize in Literature back in 2016. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's pretty much won everything you can imagine. Big shout out to Patti Smith, who went over to Sweden to accept the award and give a speech in Bob's honor. So when I was in Sweden, in Scandinavia this past summer, a year ago, when we were in Stockholm, there's a Nobel Prize museum with featuring all the winners. I didn't actually go inside, but I did have my fiddle with me, and so I played a little bit of this song, the Cuckoo, which is a traditional old English song that Bob has recorded. I forget exactly when and where, but back in 2016 when he won the prize, it was controversial. They thought it should only go to, real poets and real writers, not a songwriter. So I wrote a little verse in Bob's honor, and it's it's meant to be funny in a nice way. It pokes fun at him, but not too much. So. I'll do the chorus and then the verse. Oh, the cuckoo, she's a pretty bird, and she warbles as she flies, and she never hollers cuckoo till the 4th day of July. Well, Bob Dylan, he's a folk singer, and he wrote a lot of songs, and they gave him the Nobel Prize, 'cause he's been around so long. Oh, the cuckoo. So, I think they gave it to him because he deserved it, but, whatever. All right, so what else to say? Happy Indigenous Peoples Day, and that's what all of us should be celebrating on October 12th. What else to say about Bob Dylan, our 79-year-old septuagenarian that we're doing tonight? I mentioned Grandma's Marathon, all his awards, Patti Smith. Oh, okay, the very last song I'm going to do is actually from much earlier, not 1975. It's from 1963, the year I was born. It's from Times They Are A-Changin', and it's called Boots of Spanish Leather. I learned it from the singing of Nancy Griffith. It's on her Other Voices CD that has all her duets and covers of other folk songs. the story behind it is that his wife, girlfriend at the time, I think Sarah was her name, yeah, they were supposed to meet up in Italy, and he went over there, but she'd already come back home, and there was some confusion and blah blah blah. So I had a similar experience in 1985, pre-cell phones. I was supposed to meet my then girlfriend Nancy in Corfu. Got there, she'd supposedly left a message at the bulletin board at the youth hostel, but I never saw it, and so, just star-crossed, etc. So I kind of think of that sometimes when I sing this song. So I hope you like it. It's a kind of love song with a twist. So. Sailing away, my own true love. I'm sailing away in the morning. Is there something I can send you to remember me by? From the place where I'll be landing. No, there's nothing you can send me, my own true love. There's nothing that I'm wishing to be owning. Just carry yourself back to me unspoiled from across that lonesome ocean. Well, I just thought you might like something fine, made of silver or of golden, either from the mountains of Madrid, from the coast of Barcelona. Oh, if I had the stars on the darkest night, or the diamonds from the deepest ocean, I'll forsake them all for your sweet kiss. That's all I'm wishing to be owning. Well, I might be gone a long old time, and it's only that I'm asking, is there something I can send you to remember me by, to make your time more easy passing? How can you ask me again? For it only brings me sorrow. The same thing I would want today, I would want again tomorrow. Well, I got a letter on a lonesome day. It was from her ship a-sailing, saying I don't know when I'll be coming back again. Depends on how I'm feeling. Well, if you, my love, must think that away, I know your mind must be roaming. I'm sure your thoughts are not with me, but on the country where you're going to. So take heed of the western wind, and take heed of stormy weather. And yes, there's something you can send back to me, Spanish boots of Spanish leather. Thanks for listening, everyone. We're living in tough times, and music's the thing that's getting me through, so I hope it's for you too, and I'm glad I can have some togetherness even though it's virtual. I got Basil here, the puppy, keeping me company. So, all right, who's up next? It's Paul Simon. His birthday's tomorrow, October 13th. He's turning 79. He's just a little bit younger than Bob Dylan. So Ryman Simon will be show number 66. And I'll be doing Cecilia, the 59th Street Bridge song, otherwise known as Feelin' Groovy, and that he borrowed from a traditional South American song, El Condor Pasa. All right, so hope everybody's well. I love you all. Take care, be in touch, and thanks for listening.